All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be checking out a Soldano. No, not the SLO 100 this time, not even the SLO 30, the SLO Mini, which is 30 watts solid state. And as you can see, it is laughably small. Like, looks ridiculous on top of a 4x12. It's roughly the height of this beer can. It really isn't much bigger than that baseball cap. But you know what? We're going to plug it through a 4x12 and see what it sounds like. So I've got this Bogner Helios cab that I've loaded with Creambacks up top and V30s on the bottom row. And I'm miking up the V30s, or excuse me, one V30 with an SM57 and one of the Creambacks with an Audix i5. Now, this is not going to be a very in-depth video. There's plenty of other videos like this about these. So I'm just going to show you a few settings I've been toying around with that I think sound pretty cool, both with a boost and without. So the guitar I'm going to be using is a Moser, no, not that Moser in the corner, this Moser, yeah, the Bastard V. It's got a DiMarzio Super 2 in the bridge. Can't remember which DiMarzio's in the neck, but it's all DiMarzio's. So passive pickups. And the boost I'm going to be using is an MXR M77. All right, so we're going to kick it off with no boost. This is just the SLO Mini on its own. All right, so that's that. Now we're going to put a boost in the signal. As I mentioned earlier, the MXR M77, and here are the settings I'm using for that. We're going to leave the settings on the SLO untouched for now, so we're still on the Overdrive channel. Check it out. That's a little more like it, at least for my taste. Up next, as you can see, we've tweaked the EQ just a little bit, so we brought the presence up, backed off on the treble, mids, and bass, just a little bit on each one, and we've increased the gain. However, we are no longer in overdrive mode, we're now in crunch mode. And I think earlier in the video, I might have called it overdrive channel. It's not a channel, it's just a mode. So crunch mode is going to be significantly less gain, a little bit tighter, and that's why I cranked the gain up a little to kind of offset that. I should also note I've increased the gain on the M77 just a tad. All right, guys, so that's going to about do it for the SLO Mini. To close this out, though, I just wanted to share a few thoughts I had while I was playing around with this thing. You know, first of all, the price point. $250 retail for something like this, I think, is a great value, especially when you look at, like, you know, the pedal market and the prices nowadays. It's like this thing costs less than some of these boutique pedals, and you've got a 30-watt amp that really sounds good, especially when you put a boost with it. Now, you know, the amp itself, is it going to trick you into thinking you're playing an SLO 30 or 100? No. Is it going to trick you into thinking you're playing a tube amp? No. You're very aware that you're playing a solid state amp. But having said that, and the compliment I will give to the folks who designed this thing is that they did capture the essence of what an SLO amp sounds like, and a lot of the qualities of that tone that people like. You know, it's there. And I think that's pretty remarkable that they did that at a price point of $250 when, you know, the real deal amp is like $4,000, right? So I could also see this thing being really useful, not only as a practice amp, but, you know, if you were traveling, if you wanted to take it to band practice, maybe you don't want to haul around your like $4,000 or $5,000 amps, you know, and risk damaging them or like tubes getting broke or whatever. It's like this thing has no tubes. You could put it in a backpack. It weighs nothing. It takes up hardly any space. So super portable, super practical, and yeah, I was impressed with the sound, you know. But there again, I'm not like saying it would replace any of the amps on my wall. It definitely wouldn't. But for $250, it's a very cool product. I think they did a great job. So that's going to wrap it up for the SLO Mini. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and stay tuned. I got more to come.